Two people, same intelligence, same credentials, same title. One gets trusted, heard, and followed, and the other gets ignored. This should bother us because inside of every organization, from executive teams to banks to universities developing emerging leaders, there are brilliant people with powerful ideas getting dismissed every day. And it's not because they're wrong. It's not because they lack ability. It's because their presence doesn't match their potential. And the difference, it's not a fixed difference. Presence is not something that you are born with. Presence is something you build. Today, I'm going to break down why so many great leaders get ignored. And I'm going to share with you my 5-part leadership presence protocol that can help leaders to create more trust, more influence, more opportunity in every room they walk into. There are quite a few reasons why this actually happens, where leaders leak trust and credibility. And the first one is probably one of the hardest to hear. And that is that competence does not create influence. Being great at your job matters. It's important, but competence gets you in the room. It does not make people listen once you are there. We've all seen it happen. We've watched someone who clearly knows their stuff and still gets talked over, second guessed, or possibly even flat out ignored. And it's not because they're wrong. It's not because they lack substance. It's because their presence did not signal leadership. They had the knowledge, they had the ideas, but the room did not feel enough trust, enough certainty, or authority to follow them. And in a world where AI is producing information on demand, knowing your stuff, it's no longer enough. It is table stakes. What is setting leaders apart now is not just what they know, it's whether people trust them enough to believe, to buy in, and to take action. The second reason why great leaders get ignored is this: their presence contradicts their message. An idea delivered, a strong idea delivered with a shaky voice, wandering eye contact, and a body that's trying to disappear, that message can die on arrival. And here's what most people don't realize. Your body is broadcasting a message before your mouth ever opens. If your words are saying, I believe, but your body says, I'm not sure, people believe the body every single time. That is why presence matters, because people don't just listen to your words. They read your certainty, they read your calm, they read your conviction. The third reason why leaders can leak trust and credibility is this: they react to the room instead of leading it. Most people walk into a room and react to whatever energy is already there. If the room is tense, they get tense. If the room is distracted, they shrink. If the room is skeptical, they start proving themselves. But the leaders who command attention do something entirely different. They don't just absorb the room, they shape it. That's not arrogance. That is leadership. Whether you realize it or not, you are affecting the emotional climate of every single room that you walk into. The question is, are you doing it on purpose or not? So let's talk about what presence actually is. Presence, it's not about being the loudest person in the room. It's not about fake confidence. In fact, faking it till you make it destroys trust. Presence is not dominance. It's not barking orders, and it is certainly not charisma theater. Presence is the ability to create trust, calm, confidence, and movement through how you show up. It's not just how people feel, it's what they do because of how you lead. It's whether they lean in, whether they trust, whether they act, whether the room actually moves. Presence, it's not a personality trait. It's a skill. It's a skill, which means that it can be learned, it can be practiced, it can be developed. That's why I created the Leadership Presence Protocol. It has 5 steps, and it's the 5 C's. The Leadership Presence Protocol is a sequence that helps leaders to manage themselves, to connect with people, to communicate clearly, and to move the room towards trust, action, and results. Step number 1 is to center. Before you can lead a room, you have to manage yourself. We've heard this before. All leadership starts with leadership of self. Mastery starts with self-mastery. If you can't regulate your own mind, your own emotions, and your own body under pressure, you are going to transfer that chaos that's going on inside of you to the room. Most people walk into a high-stake moment in a state of chaos and then try to perform confidence on top of that. The room can feel that, and it almost always falls flat. Your nervous system actually sets the tone for the room. As the leader, if you are dysregulated, they feel that. If you are grounded, they feel that too. They go as you go. Centering, it's not just about calming yourself down. Centering is about you as the leader becoming the anchor the room can orient around. It is about you becoming the anchor in the room. Step number 2 is to connect. Now that you are centered, you turn outward and you ask yourself these questions. Why am I here? How can I serve? How can I add value to the people in front of me? This is where everything shifts. When you stop thinking about yourself, oh, everybody is looking at me. What do they think of me? Are they judging me? When you stop thinking about that and you start thinking, how can I serve? Something remarkable happens. The nerves drop. That self-conscious monkey mind begins to quiet, because leadership is not about you. Leadership is about the people you serve. And connection is how people feel and the actions they take because of how you show up. And it starts with actually seeing the people in front of you, not as an audience to perform for, but as human beings that you are there to serve. Step number 3 is clarity. Say less, mean more, make it land. So many great ideas get buried under filler, the backstory, over explaining. Your message should be so crystal clear that anyone in the room could repeat it back to you. That is the test. Not did I say enough, but did they hear the one, two, or three things that mattered most? Get ruthless. Get ruthlessly clear on what you are actually saying. Then say that and only that. Step 4 is conviction. Once you have centered yourself, connected to the people in front of you, and then spoken clearly, then comes conviction. Conviction is confidence made visible. You've probably heard the saying, the person with the most certainty wins. That's because people want certainty from their leaders. They hear it in your voice. They see it in how you stand, how you move, how you breathe. And the room reads it instantly, unconsciously, and accurately. When there is alignment between what you are saying and how you are saying it and how your body is showing up, that is what transfers the certainty to others. But if there's a gap in that, then that's where trust falls short. Conviction is about helping you close that gap between your message and your presence. Conviction is so powerful, and it's a piece of the puzzle that many leaders leave on the table. Step number 5 is to command. This isn't about barking orders. It's not about dominating the room. It means reading the room and guiding it in real time with intention. Commanding the room means you, as the leader, being the thermostat, not the thermometer. You don't react to the room's energy. You respond with intention. The best leaders that I've ever watched, they don't just talk at a room. They are in conversation with it, even when they are the only ones speaking. That's command, to read the room and guide it with intention. That's why leadership presence matters so deeply. It's not just about traits, it's about outcomes. Without center, transfer chaos. Without center, you transfer calm. Without that connection, you break trust. With connection, trust builds. Without clarity, confusion spreads. With clarity, alignment spreads. Without conviction, doubt runs the day. With conviction, certainty lands. Without command, people stay stuck. They don't move. With command, the room takes action. This is the power of how a leader shows up. And in today's world, this matters more than ever. We are living in a moment where information is everywhere. AI generates ideas, tools automate tasks. Anyone can polish a message. So what becomes most valuable? The human skills. Trust, connection, clear communication, emotional steadiness, leadership, the ability to move people in real time. In a bank, leaders need trust. In hospitals, They need that calm under pressure in universities. They need to develop emerging leaders who can speak, lead, and influence before they enter the workforce. In every industry, people follow how you show up. Leadership presence is the edge. If your leaders, emerging leaders, or teams need a stronger presence, if they need that communication and confidence, this is the work that I do through keynotes, workshops, leadership training. I'm Renee DiBiaso, and I help organizations and universities to develop leaders who don't just know what to say, but know how to lead in a way that creates trust, influence, and action. Let's command the room. Bye for now.